Rucha. Welcome back to another episode of Mindcheck Mondays. Before we dive into it, I just want to appreciate all the content creators out there. A big shout out to all of you because this is not a piece of cake. So, well, keep the good work going. So, yes, today in this episode, we will be talking about something that is very crucial, that is parenting. Recently, I watched a series known as Adolescence, and I got to know from so many people that it was very frightening to a lot of parents, and that actually made me think about why was it so frightening to everyone. It showed a kind of a different reality of children now in the digital era, and which is why parenting in digital era has become so difficult, because they are exposed to a lot of things out there which we are not in, which we may not be able to control. Hence, this episode is dedicated to all the parents. Just know that today I will not be telling you how to parent, because you know that better than me, but just that. And also, we are not born to be parents in itself, right? So I just want you to know that this video is only to assist you, or rather give you some insights into how to navigate through certain emotional issues that children might be facing, and what you can do about it as a parent. So diving into the parenting part of it, first, we need to understand the different styles of parenting. There are majorly four styles of parenting. First one is authoritative, second one is authoritarian, third one is permissive, and the last one is uninvolved. If we put all of these four parenting styles in a graphical representation, it may look something like this. So, the first one, the authoritative parenting style, will be high on both responsiveness and demandingness, wherein the parent would be more involved with the child. If at all they are asking to a many question, they will be responsive in a understanding manner. They are understanding, nurturing as well. However, their demands go as per the child demands as well, as per the needs. So it may not exceed it. The expectations may not exceed it. Second one is the authoritarian. Authoritarian style is very high on demandingness but very low on responsiveness. Authoritarian style of parenting often deals with a lot of punishment rather than rewarding. The focus is more on obedience. Hence, the child or the parent might be too strict with the child, and the child may feel very restricted. The third one is the permissive. The permissive style is very low on demandingness but very high on responsiveness. In this, what happens is that the child's needs, all of their needs, whether or rather their wants, would be met significantly by the parent. If the child needs something, if the child is asking for something, without any question, it will be given to them. That itself causes a lot of trouble for the child, because they do not understand the value of that particular thing that they are asking for, which is why they may easily lose the value as well. And the parent may keep on giving the child a lot without having any kind of boundary, or they may even lack any kind of boundary from their side. The last one is neglectful parenting or uninvolved parenting. In this, the parent would be low on both responsiveness as well as demandingness, wherein all of their child needs will not be met. The child will seek a lot of validation. They may try and beg for it, but the parent might not be as involved as they should be. This also creates a lot many issues for the child as well as the parent. Since we have talked about different types of parenting styles, let us dive into an adolescent mind. An adolescence, the child is still growing, it is still developing, it is still trying to understand its surrounding and themselves. What happens during this time is that the prefrontal cortex that we had talked about in our earlier videos, which is situated here, it is still developing. And the limbic system, which is the part of the brain that deals with emotional regulation, especially the amygdala, is it's fired up, which is why what happens is the child may instinctively work on their emotions rather than actually thinking about something, which is why they are much more impulsive in nature. They may not think of the consequences first. This might also be very relatable to all of the parents, especially when you tell the child to do something and they are not understanding. You might have to tell them multiple times for them to understand, because for them to understand, to reason it out, it may take a little bit of time, but they may be able to work, or rather be responsive with regards to their emotions. They are very highly emotionally stimulated, which is why they will take all of their decisions based on their emotions and nothing else. So, what happens here is, we may think as adults that the child is not understanding when we try and reason it out for them. But in reality, they may lack the capacity to understand in itself, which is why we may have to repeat whatever we speak to them. It does take a lot of patience, as well as a lot of mental energy from our side in order to make them understand something. But we do need to realize this, that they are not doing it because, just because they are getting fun out of it. They actually may lack the ability to do it. To all the adolescents who may watch this video, understand that you may be responsive to your emotions highly. It is good to be aware of it. You may not be able to work on it directly within just one click, but rather you may take some time in order to actually process or reason it out, or even think about the consequences. Now, coming back to the parenting in digital era, as we know, a lot many kids currently are exposed to digital devices such as smartphones, tablets, computers, and so on. They are exposed to a new world out there, which can be extremely scary for the parents, because they may not be able to understand or even control what their child may be seeing. Hence, it is important for us to understand a few tips that may help us navigate through this issue in a better way. The first thing that we need to remember here is, children work on modeling. As kids, we must have also learned this. We see our parents doing something and we imitate it. Modeling is one of the most strongest features we have as a child. We anytime, even if when we were kids, we may fall and we may look at our mother or our father's face and then react to it, because that is the first primary way in which we understand the world around us. Hence, modeling is one of the key features of parenting. The way you are right now as a parent, the way you are as a human being, or as an individual, will impact the way a child sees you, or the way the child may adapt to. You can relate this particular concept to the popular game that we play, Simon Says. In this game, what we usually do is, we have to do the particular activity that is followed by the statement Simon Says. If the person who is conducting the activity, if they say, Simon says touch your ears, Simon says touch your hand, Simon says touch your nose, hands down, Simon says touch your nose, Simon says hands up, Simon says hands down, Simon says touch your nose, Simon says touch your ears, hands up, Simon says touch your ears, hands down. So when I was doing this activity, was it difficult for you to follow the instruction that was given, or was it easier for you to actually follow the hands that were traveling, the whatever that you could see me doing? It is much easier for us to see a particular thing when a person does, rather than following the instruction that is told. That is exactly how children work. They see and they do. They do not listen as much, which is why modeling is one of the most key features that you can actually try out as a parent. Be the person that you want the child to be. Say the things that you want the child to say. Even it can be very mediocre activity as well, such as cleaning. It does not matter if you are a husband, if you are the wife. Both of you have the equal responsibility. Understand this. The child will look at the both of you and imitate the activity, or even adapt to the environment in a specific way. This is how gender roles are also played in society. Coming to the second point, moral development. When we were kids, we know for a fact that we did not have much of the digital devices with us. Hence, when we used to do any kind of activity, such as even eating food, we can remember that our parents or even our relatives would tell us stories, different kinds of stories of moral development. I used to read books of Panchatantra and even Akbar Birbal in order to understand a lot many things. But nowadays, it is very rare for anybody to actually listen to the story or even telling the story to their kids, because it is much easier for us to put the phone out there, play any YouTube video or even the popular song Baby Shark, and it is the child will be much more engrossed within it rather than listening to the story. However, this occurs at a very very early stage of our life, when we are infants. If we are exposing the child at a very early stage to the devices, then the child gets very much attracted to the devices. Hence, try and limit that exposure right from the beginning. If not, it's completely okay. There's still time, right? You can start fostering the stories. You can start telling the child stories that you have learned as a child. That fosters a lot of moral development. Even if you're showing the child a YouTube video of any kind or even anything on the screen, you can sit with them and actually explain what is happening rather than letting them see whatever that is going on and understand from it. This is the way you can actually take control of how the child may see a particular aspect or perceive a particular video. Anytime the child asks you any questions, we know for a fact that children ask many questions, but what we do is that we either get very irritated, we don't have the answer to it, so we may not be able to actually answer the questions, so we may get very defensive and just hush the kid out. But here, this particular question that they ask is the opportunity that you need to take as a parent in order to make them understand about things. You can even ask follow up questions to them, such as, what is the reason that they thought of this question? It is very important for us to navigate through all of the ways in which the child may think. It may even foster their moral development. It may even foster critical thinking within them, which is very, very important. As parents, you may often see the child's behavior as something that is extremely scary, the way they are acting currently, because of the exposure that they might have. We can we can actually see this in terms of an example as well. As you can see, there is a goldfish under the water, but the fin of it is of a shark. Overtly, what we may see is the fin of the shark, which seems extremely scary, which seems extremely dangerous. The same way how we saw in the series Adolescence. The behavior of the kid, the behavior of the adolescent was extremely scary. As parents, we need to find the goldfish within rather than only focusing on the shark fin on top. And lastly, even if the child is distant from you, or they may seem distant from you, or you may not understand what the child is going through, it's okay, it's all right. As a parent, you're already doing a lot. So, taking care of yourself is also very, very important rather than pressuring yourself to be perfect. You need not be. It's okay. We are not born to be parents right away. So, baby steps. So, yes, we have come to an end of our episode for today. Thank you all for watching it. And if you have liked it, please do like, share, and comment. If you have any feedback, you can put it in the comment section as well. For those who do not wish to reveal your identity, we are putting a link of a Google form that you can use to ask specific questions that you might have. And we will try and answer it for you in our following episodes as well. So thank you all once again, and I will see you on Monday. Thank you. Bye-bye.